Well, hello and happy New Year's Eve, everyone. It is digital host A.J. Wuest welcoming you back to Before the Four. It's been quite a while. I hope everyone watching right now had a very happy holidays. I definitely know I did. I went back home and got to visit some family. Got some much needed family time, that is for sure. But I hope everyone watching right now is doing great. We have quite a bit of stories to get into for today's shorter version of Before the Four. So with that said, I think it is about time to start things off. And of course, starting things off in Athens, after a confirmed EF1 tornado touched down Saturday night, the community is still in the process of cleaning up all the damage. 48's Nick Ballinger recently went up to Athens to assess the damage. Take a look.
Following the damage left by an EF1 tornado that ripped through Athens late Saturday night, city leaders are now using this as a chance to recover what is left and rebuild even better than before.
As things are impacted, we want to build back better and stronger, and that's what we're going to do.
This is what downtown Athens has looked like for the past 48 hours, with crews cleaning up the rubble and hauling off downed trees almost non-stop.
They've done a remarkable job. They stayed up all night. I finally asked them to go home yesterday afternoon about 3 or 4 o'clock because they'd been working 16, 18 hours.
Now, Executive Director of Athens Main Street, Terry Richardson, is looking toward the future. Richardson has expressed the desire to grow the downtown area in the past. She sees this as a chance to start fresh in some areas.
We have great bones downtown, and the buildings are very picturesque. And when we have things like this happen, people want to make it look better than it was and more authentic and historic.
She says with help from donations and funding, Athens Main Street can try to use this storm as a chance to create more public spaces, attract new businesses, and find new homes for the ones destroyed. For Richardson, the tornado is simply a small roadblock for one of the fastest growing areas in the state.
Yeah, we've had some challenges over the past few days, but downtown Athens is open for business.
Well, thank you, Nick. And now staying in weather, let's now turn over to 48 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis for a look at your latest forecast across the Tennessee Valley. Brad?
Well, AJ, it's all about tonight. The wind's finally going to die down. We've had that wind advisory for wind gusts 30 to 35 miles an hour, and definitely the wind showed up. The colder air is moving in as well. So you're going to need to dress warm if you have outdoor events tonight. And Happy New Year, everyone. 48 degrees tomorrow for the first day of 2025. And then we cool down. Not really anything out of the ordinary. The really cold air is coming in behind our next weather maker. Here's what all the talk's about on social media. And depending on who you're following, you can get a number of different answers. I'm highly confident this is likely going to end up being just rain. We are concerned with a lot of wind. This will be coming in Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. And that's the other thing. We got to work on the speed of the storm system. The European model takes far northern track here. The GFS model wants to bring us more freezing rain, but I just have a feeling we're going to end up more with rain, but we'll watch that. The snow most likely up here to the north as we get into Monday morning. Strong gusty north winds, falling temperatures. That is the temperature contour there. 25 degrees to start the morning Tuesday, and Tuesday afternoon the highs may not get above freezing. We'll be talking more about this over the coming days.
Well, thank you, Brad. And now an update for you all that came in earlier today. A former Tuscumbia cop convicted of killing a man while driving under the influence wants to serve his sentence in a county jail instead of prison. Now, Jay Stewart, who you're seeing on screen, is serving a 20-year sentence in the Limestone Correctional Facility for the death of Terry Hinton. He is now asking the judge who sentenced him to let him serve his sentence in the Coleman County Detention Center. Stewart was held there before being sent to prison. The state attorney general's office has objected to this request, however. A hearing over the request has been set for January 16th. This isn't the first time Stewart has tried to change his sentence. He asked the judge in November to re-sentence him to a 20-year split, in which he would only serve 5 years in prison. The judge denied the request. Stewart was driving a marked Tuscumbia police car when he hit and killed 60-year-old Hinton on Hawk Pride Mountain Road back in October of 2022. Investigators said he was driving over 90 miles per hour and was under the influence at the time. But now here's another story for you all. On Sunday, former President Jimmy Carter sadly passed away at 100 years old. 48's Aria Pons recently spoke with a former Lee High School band director here in Huntsville who says he remembers playing at the former president's inauguration. Take a look.
You're part of history. That we can all say that we've been there and done that.
Former Lee High School band director Bob Bacchus remembers every detail from when the band traveled to Washington, D.C. He says he couldn't believe when the band got picked by Alabama's former governor, Wuest, to march in President Jimmy Carter's inauguration.
We saw him, he stood up, and he waved at the band as we came by. And that was just a glimpse that we got to see him.
Bacchus says it was heartbreaking hearing the news that Carter passed away at the age of 100 on Sunday, but he'll never forget being a part of history.
We did the parade, and we still have alumni band meetings, and we talk about it all the time. It was a trip of the lifetime.
Bacchus also has a personal tie to the Carter family. He says his mother was suitemates with Rosalind Carter in college, and she got to meet President Carter.
Didn't get the chance to meet President Carter. My mother did get to meet him. Her Sunday school class went over to where he was preaching or teaching a Sunday school class over in Plains, and her Sunday school class got invited over there, and she got to have her picture taken with him and meet him and hear him teach a Sunday school lesson.
In Huntsville, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
Well, thank you, Aria. And now check this out. In the Shoals, the Florence Police Department started a new program intended to help the homeless population in the area. 48's Aria Pons tells us all about it.
You have to have an ID. So that's the reason that everything was started.
Brandon Lindsay created the Community Lauderdale ID program, or CLIP, in order to help the homeless population in Lauderdale County. The program helps people get Social Security cards, an ID card, or even a driver's license.
The idea kind of started on patrol, and then I was selected for the cops unit for the homeless contact for the police department. And then it made me really think, and really I didn't think of the bigger scale. I thought of just getting an ID as at least a start. All the things that's happened after that, I never would have imagined.
But it's not just about getting IDs.
You get an ID in Alabama, then you got an address, then you get mail, then it gets more and more, and it makes you feel whole again. It's a starting process, so it gives you something to work towards.
It's difficult to get housing, a job, and even government aid without the proper identification. Lindsay says he has helped people get housing just days before they were set to be homeless. One person he helped was able to find a job, get a car, and even owns a home.
We found a lady housing in a few days just by other agencies helping us and us reaching out and working together, so everything worked better.
Lindsay says all the nonprofits in the area have helped his cause, so if you ever need help, just ask for it. The program has already helped over 100 people this year. In Lauderdale County, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
Well, that is so great. Thank you once again, Aria. Well, 2024 is now coming to an end. And here at WAFF 48, we of course want to wish you a very happy new year. This year has been especially exciting for me as I finally made the transition from college life to starting my very first full-time job. And here's to 2024, and may you all have a blessed 2025. Take a look at this.